And at the time I got into this business, no one even knew what it was, and now people are beginning to demand it. So, I mean, you all now are you're just getting started into this stuff. So it's really good that you're out here getting this exposure, because what you're seeing here is kind of like not the bleeding edge of technology, but this is the leading edge of the wave that's coming. Because what these guys are doing here, they were already building really good houses, both Danny and Dave, but they weren't really benefiting from it. And so what the Energy Star program does is we measure it independently. So this house has to meet certain criteria. And I'll measure it, and like he said, I'll take the plans and do the modeling. So I'll build this house, every part and piece of it, the windows, the exposure, capture the sun angle, and capture the heat loss or gain on all the components that make up this house. And then we do require, as part of the Energy Star program, sizing, so that mistakes have been made in the past where the building failures have occurred, especially with mechanical systems. We have certain criteria that those have to fit in for sizing to avoid that kind of thing. So it's a really good program, and it adds some really good exposure and marketing material and a niche for guys like Dave and Danny. So now,
analyzing the sunlight and all that is to maximize, to use the natural resources, and at the same time minimizing, the damaging the environment, right?
You're right. I mean, you can take, look at any window, for example, and look at the exposure of the window, and so we calculate, we have software that calculates the heat loss or gain, and we come up with a number. And this Energy Star program is just like Dave said, the Energy Star program has been around for many years on appliances and those kinds of things. But Energy Star for homes is really caught hold now. So it's the same label. If you look at it, it's the Energy Star label, just like you see on the appliances when you open up your refrigerator. Except this is on the whole house. It's a lot more complicated. I'd say it's probably more difficult to get, but it's worth it. And so now we've got a national standard that they'll comply to, and that standard is based on the 2004 International Energy Conservation Code, and so every house is measured against that. And if it beats that, in this area it varies, but in this area it's 15%. So if they can beat the 2004 International Energy Conservation Code based upon our modeling and the field testing. So I'll come out and I'll test these things. I'll test their building shell to make sure that it's tight enough. If it's not tight enough, it'll fail. I'll test their mechanical systems to make sure that their air distribution losses are minimum. Here again, if they don't make it, they fail. And so that feeds into a program that comes up with what's called a HERS index. And the whole system is built on HERS, Home Energy Rater System. Guys like myself, it's a national program, but you have to be a HERS rater to be able to participate in the program. So it's built on a HERS index, and it's a declining scale. It starts at 100, and it goes down to, I can say now, below 0. I thought it went to 0, but I have been involved in one recently that went to a -5. And so anyway, it's a declining scale. And if they get 15 points below that, and so if they're 85 or less, then they have an Energy Star home, assuming all their other requirements have been met. So that's kind of a high-level overview of the program. And as we go through, we can talk about very specific things. But any questions now?
So if you look at the handout that I gave you this morning before we left the campus, these guys are focusing a lot on the energy efficient approach to practice the green design. There's a bunch of different ways of doing that, but these guys are very, are doing a lot of work on energy saving, energy efficient, approach there, right? So.
Yeah, just to kind of give a comparison for this program versus other programs, green programs. You've got, the Home Builders Association and I forget every time, the green homes.
Green standard.
Green standard.
The NAHB green standard.
NHAB green standard. Don't want to forget that. That's important.
National
forget that.
Home
Builders Association.
Yeah.
Thank you.
National Home Builders Association.
Yeah.
It's a national program.
Yeah.
So they've got a really good program. It's called a green program. And then you have another program called Lead for Homes, and that's a green program. And you've got others, but those are two big ones. Energy Star is kind of at the core of these programs. So, for example, in Lead for Homes, their focus has been, we want it to be a high-performance home, but they focus more on material selections and the environmental impact of the materials and things, more so than performance. But in the background, it's got to be an Energy Star home. So they kind of leave that up to the people that are building and measuring it to say, yeah, it's got to be Energy Star first. Now let's make it a green home in these other ways. So as you guys are thinking about this, and you're going to have to think about it a lot, because our generation screwed up everything. Now you got to come in and fix it.
Yeah, go for it.
And I apologize for that. Good luck with it. So we've made a lot of mistakes, and we know what those are, and now we're trying to fix those. So when you look at the environmental impacts, you've got a one-time impact, and you've got the forever impact. Think about it that way, and that's why I'm really high on Energy Star. Now I have done and been involved in LEED. I've done LEED commissioning. Haven't done the home builders commissioning, but I know about it, and it's a good program. But Energy Star is at the core, because what happens here is forever. So the environmental impact of this house is going to be here forever.
It's affecting a lot, actually.
Yeah.
In Canada, if you have Energy Star equipment at home, or if your home's, Energy Star certified programs, you can get tax credit, like $500 dollars per year. Do we have a program like that here in the States?
Well, there's programs, not directly to the homeowner like that, but there are programs that take place. In the past, there have been one just for within the Energy Star program, a builder tax credit that's not in effect right now, but it has been in the past. And but you have another performance tier to get there. Now, what's available now for tax credits for homeowners? There's a $1,500 tax credit, and there is certain tax credits on very high performance things like geothermal heat pumps. You can get a 30% tax credit on that with no cap. Solar thermal for solar water heating, you get a 30% tax credit on that, or solar photovoltaics, and those are 30% uncapped tax credits. So those are really good incentives. But as far as just offering an incentive to be an Energy Star, there's not one right now.